Hey everyone, how are you? We're back. Whoa, my sound is really hot. Hey, good to hear from you all. Sorry there was no early show today. A, a variety of things went wrong, no internet, and I was really tired. I got back very late last night after doing something, so sort of worked out well. Got to research a bit more this morning and have a look at a couple of other things, and I fixed the computer last night. We should be good to go. I tested it and replugged it several times, and shouldn't have any more audio issues going forward. I have no idea what's going on with the StreamYard. I haven't tested it. We'll see if we get any more screw ups tonight. If you watched the late show last night, you would have seen a whole bunch of problems. So let's hope no more problems tonight. Danny Mitchell, Mr. Dan Yee, good to see you. Andrew says, happy to have you here. Gambler, how'd the hockey go? Kathy Lynch, storm free and present. I'm glad there was no tornado in your neighborhood. Yep, another Maria. Good to have you. DJ says he's present. Okay. Angela, good to have you. Annika, I had a girlfriend when I was younger called Annika. Uh, Sharon's here too. Good to have you. All right, let's get started. It is late, real late. I have two quick stories out of Australia that I want to show you. One is very sad. Actually, whenever we deal with true crime, it's always sad. But apparently, this morning in Melbourne, a body was found in a river. Hey guys, how are you? Look at this. Look who's behind me. You can just see his little ears here. He's sitting right behind my back. Yeah, a body was found in the Yarra River. Now, this is not all that uncommon. It does happen. But they're saying here a body has been pulled from a river in Melbourne CBD. A corpse was found floating in the river near the shops and restaurants in Convention Centre Place at South Wharf about 9:30 a.m. on Thursday. A VicPol spokesman said the death is not being treated as suspicious at this stage and a report will be prepared for the coroner. Normally that means it's someone who has died accidentally. Maybe someone, there's no message here normally if it's someone who has, decided not to be with us anymore. It has a message here that says, do you need help? Contact Lifeline. But I don't see that. But could have been a swimmer. People do swim and kayak and stuff in the river. Maybe someone got into a medical emergency and no one was around to help them. I don't know. But very sad nonetheless. Someone is not going home to their family tonight. And their family's going to get a very sad phone call, unfortunately, about a loved one. So not a good story out of Melbourne. Actually, we have another one too. Here, I'll show you. Where is it? Here. Hopefully, we get everything working today. Man is found dead at Gold Coast, back of River Church on the Gold Coast. They said a man has been found dead behind a church on the Gold Coast. 45-year-old was discovered at the River Church at Broadbeach at 9 a.m. on Thursday. Emergency services were called to the scene and declared the man dead on arrival. He's understood to have been a homeless man. That is heartbreaking. Someone that died on the streets. I know it does happen quite a lot, but I don't think it makes it any easier any of the times that you hear about it. And that's a horrible death. It really is. Hey, Yuda, how are you? Good to see you. Sean. I thought you were going to say hello, replay crew. And I was like, we're not replay yet. Oh, her name was River. That's a good name for a rabbit. So, two unexplained deaths in different cities in Australia. Not a good start to a Thursday down here. Now, I have more news close to home. Actually, Angela sent me this, and it is disappointing. I'm going to bring it up. It was here. From Sky News in the UK. In the UK? So Ariel Gray, the woman who caused cyclists to fall into the path of a car, has manslaughter conviction overturned. I showed you this video a few weeks ago, actually, and I had no idea this was under review at the time. But she's a woman who basically accosted a cyclist who was on the footpath and was like she told her like, "Get off the effing footpath or whatever. Ride your bike on the road." The lady sort of she stalled her bike and then lost control of it and fell into the road just as a car was coming, and she was hit by the car and died at the scene. This woman was taken into custody, and I showed you some of her interrogation where she tried to lie her way through it. I don't care what you want to say. She tried to lie her way through it. She tried to say, "Oh, I can't see that photo's too blurry." No, you could see. It's fine. The cop was like, "Let me blow it up to 500% for you. Is that you?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know. It could be a lady, it could be a man. Who knows?" She made every excuse under the sun, but they are saying, from the gist of this article that I could get, they're saying that she doesn't have a charge to answer to because basically they're blaming the council. They're saying this footpath, the interaction that this woman had with the cyclist should never have happened because there should have been a cycling lane. And if there was a cycling lane, the cyclist would have been in the cycling lane and these two would never have met. It's a real mental gymnastics way of coming across it. It almost makes it seem like that the woman's death is like, who cares? She died. They basically almost say here, oh, if this happened any other way or people looked at it a different way, the charges would never have been brought and this would have been just a tragic accident. What? No. This woman literally aggressively yelled at this woman coming in the opposite direction and told her to get off the friggin' footpath. That lady was scared. She sort of like lost control of the bike because of the being startled by this woman, and she died as a result of it. I just don't understand how you don't accountability is just lacking apparently. I'm going to show you, this is a video of it. Hopefully it is. It looks like it. Yeah, it is. So there you go. You see her yelling at the cyclist. The cyclist there, she sort of is startled by being yelled at. She loses control of the bike, and then there's a car here that hits her, and she dies. Um, I don't know. It's awful. But they said the Court of Appeal today ruled that the manslaughter conviction should be overturned, and she walked free from court. They're saying, in our judgment, the prosecution case was insufficient even to be left to a jury. In all the circumstances, we have no hesitation in concluding that the appellant's conviction for manslaughter is unsafe. It's awful. Apparently, the prosecution even asked for it to be sent back to trial, and that was denied by the judges, apparently. The judges said that, no, we're not going to send her back to trial. She's just free to go. I know she's partially blind, but I mean, this case frustrates me because it feels like, yes, I understand. They also said she had to be full and frank, she also had a diagnosis of autism that came out after she was in jail. I get that, but I still think it really diminishes that poor cyclist's death and her life. It does. And I don't like stuff like that because I feel like she didn't go out that day to die. She wasn't like, hey, I'm going to go out today and get yelled at by someone for being on the footpath, and then I'm going to lose control of my bike and then get hit by a car and not go home to my husband. It just feels like there's a lacking of some sort of accountability here. That's all. That's what it just feels like. There's something missing. I appreciate everyone has health issues when they get a little older, right? And she has quite a few. I know that. I read the court transcript for it. Um, I just don't know where you go from here, especially when they said they're not going to send it back to trial. To me, that's frustrating. And if I was the family, I would be very frustrated too. Sort of like the bus one we talked about last night. Let me just grab more details for it. It says here, they're saying that Miss Gray should simply never have been charged with manslaughter. The lawyers continue, Miss Ward should never have been faced with the choice between cycling on the pavement or cycling on a busy and dangerous ring road. Well, that is true. They said, had a clear and well-signed cycle path been in place, safely separating vulnerable pedestrians such as Mrs. Gray This accident would never have occurred. Equally, misconceived prosecution and wrongful convictions such as this cause untold pain to all those affected, including the family of the deceased, as well as the wrongly accused. I don't know if she's wrongly accused. Well, she is according to the court, but I, I don't know. I don't know. We just have to believe in justice, right? And the justice system. We have to take what they say. I'm just trying to find a bit more here. They just said it was an insufficient prosecution. I don't know. What do you guys think about it's actually more the blame is on the council? That the council has to, they should have had a bike path. And if there was a bike path, those two would never have met each other. What do you guys think about that argument? Thanks, Angela. I did know that she was partially blind, but I think you'd still be able to recognize yourself in the video footage. She yelled at her. She yelled at her. She yelled at her and basically said, get the F off the, get the F off the walkway. It's in that video. You see it, unless I didn't show it to you. Did I not show it to you? I thought I did. Is it broken again? Yeah. Says it's streaming. Okay. So you can see it. She's just walking home from the shops or whatever she's doing. And it is quite a narrow footpath. I will give them that. So there you go. She kind of, I don't know, in the interview, I don't know if they tell her. I think in the interview they tried to ascertain whether she had actually pushed her too. They were trying to work that out in the interview. You sort of see her put her hand out right there, right on that last bit, and then she falls. But uh it's frustrating. I feel very sorry for the victim's family. She also said at the end, her lawyers did, and I'll show you. Where is it? Her lawyers tried to say, yeah, whilst we welcome the decision of the Court of Appeal, our thoughts today are also with the Ward family, and I'm sure a day doesn't go by when they remember their tragic loss. Um, Seems like an awful thing to say. It's also like, yeah, we love our victory today, but just remember your loved one's dead and you ain't going to get no justice. Peace out. That's almost how that seems to me. Almost like I know they're trying to say it's nice or whatever, but to me it doesn't. Yeah, it's almost like they tried to ascertain in her police interview whether she pushed her. Hmm. A civil suit? Saying that might be the way they do it, maybe. For wrongful death? Yeah, could be. Not the council or whoever controls the roads over there. I don't know what they're called. British roads? What's it called? We call it Vic roads here. It's probably called British roads over there. Let's see what they call it. National highways? No. Highways of England? I don't know. Highways Agency? National Highways? I don't know if that's the right one. So it says here, British roads facts. For roads maintained by local authorities, central government will pay 50% of all costs for A roads and 30% for B roads. So it is a local authorities thing, but there you go. They pay for it. It happened in the UK. In the UK. Angela says highway maintenance, fix the roads. Okay, but who would decide if you had a cycle path? Would it be a local council decision or would it be a roads department decision? That's what I want to know because that's maybe who you'd sue. You'd also include them in a lawsuit from the victim's family. If that's their judgment is saying, hey, if she had a safe place to cycle, this would never have happened. Personally, I think that's a real mental gymnastic way of doing this, but I don't know. It says here the trial seems to have proceeded on the basis that some kind of unlawfulness, undefined and unspecified, was sufficient to be found this offense of homicide. They say The fellow appeal judges agreed, ruling that jurors were not asked to decide the fundamental question of whether a base offense was established. Almost sounds like a technicality. Says here, senior judge concluded or continued the appellant's actions that day contributed to Miss Ward's untimely death. Had Miss Ward not died, we regard it as inconceivable that the appellant would have been charged with assault. Uh, I see that. I see the point they're making with that. That if she had just fallen and been okay, like just fallen on the concrete, got a scraped knee or something, probably nothing would have happened, all right, to either of them. I get that line of thinking, but that's not what happened. That's not what happened. I don't know how they find this, but they said so one of their reasonings was angry gestures at people are not crimes. Otherwise, we'd have 50,000 football fans each week being apprehended for serious crimes. I mean, far out. Talk about just connecting dots where there are none. Connecting dots where you shouldn't do it. But hey, can't question the Justice Department. It says after the judges had given their ruling, Mr. Spence asked for Gray's case to be sent back to the Crown Court for a retrial, which was denied. So that means she's free to go. She probably can never be charged or put back in court for anything related to this again. Says in a separate statement, Gray's legal team said neither Miss Ward's family or Gray should ever have been put through this ordeal. Don't yell at people and be a jerk then. Local government. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was the local government. Hey, Diane Marie, how are you? That's what I was wondering, Kathy Lynch. What about intent? I know in America it's a big basis for a lot of cases. What is the intent of the individual? I mean, I don't think her intent was to kill her, so that it's not premeditated. That's probably where they tried to go with the manslaughter. But I don't know. All I can tell you is that I feel very sorry for Celia Ward and her family today. And if I was them, I would feel very angry. Yeah, that's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. I feel so. It says here a woman who shouted and waved aggressively at a cyclist on a pavement, causing her to fall in the path of a car, has had her conviction for manslaughter overturned and walk free from court. They said the CCTV showed her shout, "Get the F off the pavement," as Celia Ward approached her in Huntingdon, Cambridgeshire, in October 2022. The 77-year-old then veered off the 2.4-meter wide path into the road. Miss Ward, a grandmother, died after she was struck by a car. Gray, who has cerebral palsy and described by her lawyers as partially blind, was given a 3-year jail sentence in March 2023 after being convicted of manslaughter. But the Court of Appeal ruled today that the manslaughter conviction should be overturned and she walked free from court. And I've given you their reasons for it. They gave several reasons why they thought it wasn't, you know, a good case or a lawful, whatever they call it, a lawful manslaughter case against her. They thought it wasn't a correct ruling from the original trial. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. When I saw this today, I almost spat my coffee out. I was like, "What the hell?" I don't drink coffee, but you know what I mean. They just said Miss Gray simply should never have been charged with anything. I don't know. It's an awful case. So everyone thinks they should go the civil route and try sue her. I mean, I don't know what you get out of it. What are you going to get out of a pensioner who's apparently got cerebral palsy and is partially blind? Probably nothing. You might get a ruling that says on the balance of probabilities she she helped or contributed to her death, but the judges in the appeal also said she definitely contributed to the woman's death. They're just not willing to give her any time for manslaughter. So I know it's not legal to cycle on the pavement. It's not here either, but people still do it every day. I see it every day. The kids do it, the adults do it, everyone does it, especially when it's not safe or you don't have a designated area. I mean, who wants to cycle with like trucks and stuff and buses going up your ass? I mean, no one does. About a $250 fine for swearing in eyes. Give her the fine, Sean. Give her the $250 fine. That'll teach her. I think it's a sad case, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than I think personally, if this was me and my family, I would be very disappointed by the appeal court's findings. I mean, I want justice to be done in a fair way too, but it's hard. A woman still died, right? Someone or something has to be accountable. And they even said today that she contributed to the death. What so what? She had a little bit in prison, what, 9 months or whatever. And you're like, oh great, she learned her lesson. She'll never yell list again. I don't know, guys. It's sad to me. There you go. There's a picture of Celia Ward and her, I'm guessing her husband. I think that is awful. Miscarriage of justice, maybe on both sides, maybe on one. No idea. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal analyst. All I can tell you is what I feel. And I feel like she got away very, very easy. I feel like if that was maybe anyone else, if that was a if that was a 30-year-old man, do you think he would have got away with it? I don't. I think he'd be in jail. I think he'd be serving 5 years in jail right now. I think that maybe they took a bit of pity on her because of her conditions, and they're like, "Well, she's this woman. She's not, not a very healthy lady. She has a bunch of health issues and things." Yeah, let's see what it says here. It says for the last 17 years, Oriel Gray has lived alone on state benefits in an adapted ground floor flat in Huntington, run by a charity that provides homes for disabled people who want to live independently. Her legal team said that imprisonment would inevitably mean that she would lose her home and all her possessions because she has no financial or family support. She could be left with nothing, in other words. Okay, that happens to a lot of people who go to jail. Many readers who have followed the case will be surprised to learn that her humble circumstances detailed in court bear little resemblance to an earlier, much more gilded life. How she ended up living alone in sheltered accommodation, estranged from her wealthy family, is an unreported subplot to an already tragic story. She was born in Kings Lynn, Norfolk, the youngest daughter of bridge playing matriarch Verna and her architect husband Thomas, who was also well known as a cartographer locally. Apparently, her home was a grandiose apartment with ornate high ceilings in a 17th century wing. I don't give a crap about that. I don't care about her life previously. Actually, I mean, I don't think it means anything. It's weird. Daily Mail likes to tell people what kind of houses people live in. It's odd. It says here she attended private school. Great. So do a lot of people. Says here she never went back to live at the Hall after college, only to visit, choosing instead to move to a property provided by the Papworth Trust for people with special needs and disabilities. I don't know how any of that relates to the woman dying. Says her daily routine said she involved getting up early, going for an 8 a.m. stroll, buying a newspaper, and then dropping it off to a friend's home en route. Says she likes shopping and going to restaurants. Great. Good for you. Says aside from her disabilities, her solitary existence enjoying hobbies such as bird watching and painting and yelling at cyclists on footpaths. No, sorry, it doesn't say that there. I added that in. Sorry. Have to be factual. Says here she likes listening to brass bands. Okay. I don't think it really shares anything worthwhile. Just trying to see if it has anything worth our time here. Says it is hard not to compare her sentence with one given to an 18-year-old cyclist, Charlie Alliston, who killed a woman crossing a road in East London in 2016. His bike had no front brakes, but no law exists yet to charge a cyclist with the equivalent of causing death by dangerous driving. Charlie Alliston got 18 months in jail. Oriel Gray got 3 years. The consequences of that fatal collision have been truly devastating. Miss Ward's husband, retired RAF pilot David Ward, rarely a day goes by without thinking of her and our happy life together, but I can so easily burst into tears as I have done on many occasions, he said in his impact statement. Yeah, that must be very hard to lose your partner of decades. Must be very difficult. So apparently, for the driver of the Passat, a mother of two named Carla Mooney or Money, who now suffers from PTSD, she said, "My relationship has collapsed with my husband so much we are getting a divorce," she told the court. "My children, aged 7 and 4, now have to deal with separated parents, all because of this tragic death of Miss Ward." So it's impacted not just the death of the actual woman, it's actually impacted other people. The driver who hit her, the husband who lost his wife, and apparently Oriel Gray as well. Says here, following today's ruling, her family said in a statement, "While we welcome the decision of the Court of Appeals, our thoughts today are also with the Ward family." Yeah, I read that earlier. But they added, "There has been unnecessary and prolonged suffering, and vulnerable people like Oriel need better support from the justice system. We hope lessons will be learned." I don't know that they will be. I think we're probably going to not learn any lessons from this and keep going the way we always do. That's probably what's going to happen. I feel very sorry for that husband. He sounds devastated. He just sounds like his life is over. Same with the driver of the car that hit her. She just sounds like she doesn't know what to do with her life. No doubt, poor driver. No, I don't think that. I don't think it was poor driving. I think it was it happened so quickly, she didn't even have time to stop. From what I saw from other researching of this particular case, it was like that. She just didn't have any choice in the situation. She couldn't brake and stop and get there in time. Yeah. Apparently, her family is quite wealthy. Yes, but apparently they are estranged from each other, whatever that means. Hey, Cheetah No More, how are you? You gonna go for a drive? Okay. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. She mean poor driver, can't imagine. Yeah, I don't know what it would be like to have to live with that, knowing that you killed someone and, like, you can't rationalize that because you didn't have any choice in the situation. How do you move on from that? I don't know. Like she said, her marriage broke down because she doesn't participate in her relationship anymore because of her depression and PTSD. So I think it shows sometimes our actions, whether we like to admit it or not, often affect not only ourselves but many other people surrounding us, and this is a good example of that. That poor driver. Feel very sorry for her. All right, let's go to America, shall we? You want to guys want to go to America before Ping starts getting really mad about this? And do you not notice how mad I am already? I'm very mad. I would like to know why. Though before we move on, I want to show you this.
How did she end up in the road?
I'll pause it because there are subtitles. But I don't know if this is just someone with a psychology degree would have to tell me. Is this just human instinct to downplay your own actions when you're in a police interview? Because she's like, "Oh, I was so lovely to her, and I just told her, hey, slow down. I'm just a very nice old lady. Just I told her to, just slow down a little bit." She was telling her, she told her to f off the pavement. Did they turn the subtitles off for us? Damn, they were on at the start, I think.
Up in the road.
I think that the bike may have, is it swerved
Okay.
onto the road?
I'll make this quite a straightforward sort of almost yes or no answer. Did you make contact with the bike or the person riding it? Did you touch them with your hand?
In a vague way, only as she was going by.
Describe in a vague way.
Lightly.
Lightly. Okay. As the bike's coming towards you and it's coming down the middle of the narrow pavement and you're feeling anxious, did you say anything?
I can't remember.
Can't remember. Okay. Why didn't you stay to speak to the emergency services?
They weren't there. I mean, I
Do you think it would have been better to wait and speak and because to see if an ambulance or police would turn up?
But I think she was being helped.
Yeah.
And police were, you could hear police and things coming, and
Yeah. Why didn't you wait to speak to them though?
I didn't know I had to.
Okay. But I'll put it a little bit differently. Do you think cyclists should be allowed on pavements?
Maybe I don't know the answer.
Oh, no, that's more of a what's your personal view on it?
She tries to often act confused through the interview. She'll often try to downplay just like that. And I'm not trying to just be an absolute dickhead to her. I'm just trying to see what we have on the video. She often says, "Oh, I don't know," but the guy's asking her just for a moral question. It's not hard to understand. I think we all have a moral question, right? You know, he's asking her, like, "What do you think about cyclists on footpaths?" It's a moral question. What is your personal thoughts on it? It's not like a yes or no question. He was just asking, like, "Hey, do you think they should not drive on the footpath? Do you think they should be on the road? Do you think there should be no bikes at all?" He was just asking a general question, and she couldn't even answer that correctly. She does it a lot throughout this interview, and there's other ones where she downplays it, like when she said, "Oh, I softly tapped her when she went past," and then they ask her about the emergency services, and they say, "Well, why didn't you stay and help her?" "Oh, I didn't know I had to." Yes, we all know that we should all go home after someone gets hit by a vehicle. I think that's bizarre thinking that you can just leave. I mean, if I was any way involved, even very far away, I'd stay, right? You want to make sure, one, they're okay. Two, you can give any information to authorities that you can help with. Maybe you're not involved, but maybe you saw the car and you'd be like, "Hey, I saw the car. I saw what they said on he was a man. He was like 6 foot tall. He had dark hair. They had a license plate. It was a red Peugeot." Things like that, they help with investigations. I find some of her answering very odd, and if she needed help, they could have had an advocate with her or something. I'm not sure if there is one in the video. There might possibly, I can't tell, but they can have an advocate there. People who have different health issues or disabilities, they often have people in police interviews that advocate for them. "Hey, this questioning is a bit confusing. You could word it slightly differently for her so she understands," that type of thing. Yeah, the fact that she left, I think, is damning. Damning. I think it just says, like, "Hey, I don't give a crap about this woman. I don't care that she died. I don't care." Like, at the time, she may not have known she was dead, but right. I think it's the same all around the world. In Australia, it's the same. Um, I know in England, I know Angela said it's similar. They're supposed to be in the road, but we have people here. I was walking to the shops 2 nights ago, and every 2 seconds I get ring ring, ring ring, and it's like, frig. All right, fine, I'll move over. But it's just a fact of life. Not everyone feels comfortable riding on the road, especially elderly, younger kids who are just riding their bikes for to school and stuff. I have no problem with it. I don't care. I'll move over. To me, it doesn't take anything out of my day. Yeah, she had a pretty good upbringing. She graduated college. I don't know if she's playing dumb on purpose, or like I said, I'm not a psychologist, I don't know, but I was wondering, is it a human instinct for self-preservation in a police interview? Is she just trying to downplay everything to see how far she could take it? Do you know what I mean? I think maybe some people would do that in a police interview. Yeah, I think they said the autistic designation only came after the trial, that she was only found to have it after she had some medical treatment while she was behind bars, and they were able to get that designation for her. But before that, I don't think it was known or it wasn't documented, if that makes sense. That's what it said in the article we read before. More people die riding on the footpaths, possibly. Is that true? I don't know. That's a good point, Jojo. It might also say she doesn't understand at all. We need to. It'd be good if we had more transcripts. But like Annika said, she graduated college. She understands enough to graduate college. I mean, it's hard work. You need to know what you're doing, and it's not. I mean, she might have had help as well, but like you can have help in a police interview too. I find it interesting. Actually, let's have a look at that, Sean. Let's see. Let's see if we can find a statistic. Let's see if we can find anything. Bicycle rider statistics from the TAC. Let's see if this provides us anything. This is from Melbourne. It looks like most of them were male. Almost half of them were age 50 plus. Killed in the same direction crashes, 40%. Crashes at intersection are only 22%. Most of direction crashes are rear-enders. 49% occurred on roads with a speed limit of 60 kilometers or less. 29% occurred on roads with a speed limit of 100 kilometers an hour or more. So most of them happen on residential type streets with 60 k's or under. But it doesn't say anything here about footpath type deaths at all. But if this is the percentages, it doesn't leave a lot here for deaths on a footpath. I'd say majority come from road type accidents, but yeah, there's definitely people who go to college, and there's actually departments at colleges who make accessibility better for people who would like to further their knowledge, but maybe are differently abled or need more help or whatever. They do have those type of things. I've seen it. I was at college myself. I've seen it. They do that type of things. Now, Kathy Lynch says this is a lose-lose situation. Yeah, I don't know what to think, guys. I'm always for the victims in these situations, and I just think, listen to that husband's testimony. You know, she was 77 years old. She'd got through who knows how many bloody things in life, and she died because someone yelled at her on a sidewalk. Hey, maybe you can blame it on her. Maybe you can say, well, she shouldn't have been on the footpath, and maybe she's too old to ride a bike. But that would be ageist, right? That's what. What are they supposed to do? You take my car keys, I can't drive anymore. Now you say I can't ride a bike. Now you say I have to ride on the road. They just keep making it harder for us older people. No, she's got a physical. I know. I was just giving an example that they do have these type of things at university. She has a physical disability, so they have things like I know at my university there were certain classrooms that they had to use if you had a person in your class who was in a wheelchair. We had a dude in our class who was in a wheelchair, so we were unable to use some classrooms because he could not get to them because it didn't have a lift or it didn't have appropriate lifting devices for him. So we had to use certain classrooms. Was it annoying? Yeah, sure, but he was a cool dude, and it was actually better to have him in the class with us because he was a smart guy, and we all liked him, and we all had fun, and it was a small bit of inconvenience to make sure he could get to class. So I still keep in touch with him actually. We went to school together. I don't know, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, and we still message from time to time. He was a nice guy, but they did stuff for him to make sure he was able to partake in the learning. Nice dude. Autism, I can have a look. Would you want to clarify that? We can clarify. I want to clarify that. Let's have a look. I know there was a diagnosis section here. Let me find it. There was a section I was reading that Angela gave me. Here. At the time, it was argued that Gray's sentence had been excessive and that an autism diagnosis secured after the trial may have made a difference in the case. Maybe. That may be. I don't know. I think we all know right from wrong, even people with autism do. And I think they, I just don't know enough about her diagnosis to really comment, but I don't know. I don't know, guys. Someone think of this lady and her husband. I mean, she has rights too. Oriole Gray has rights too, and we have to respect that as well. But I just think, it's very sad. That's all. Kathleen says, apparently we're still getting round 3 of thunderstorms. Oh, be careful. Yeah, we still keep in touch, of course. He was a great guy. Yep, another reader says, I've received accommodations in school. Many accommodations benefit others. That's right. That's what I mean. I'm not against people like, that have issues or medical things or whatever. We all have our troubles in life, right? And we all have stuff. I find this case frustrating. I just, feel very sad for Mrs. Ward. It's not a very nice situation for anyone or anyone's family to be in. I just think there's enough there that maybe that it could, if they didn't want to do manslaughter, maybe there was another charge they could have used that would have at least set a precedent that something like this is, that her life is worth something, right? That Mrs. Ward's life is valuable and was worth it. So, all right. Before Ping just turns bright red and starts shooting flames out his ears, let's move on. Otherwise, I'll just get really mad. All right. How about a teacher in California, Burbank? I'm going to show you something from Burbank Police. Apparently, a homicide investigation is underway after a woman was killed in her home Tuesday evening. On May 7, 2024, about 10 p.m., Burbank police and paramedics responded to a home in the 800 block of North Avon Street regarding an unconscious female. When police officers and paramedics arrived, they found the unconscious woman inside. Life-saving measures were taken by officers and paramedics, but the woman was pronounced deceased at the scene. The woman has been identified as Karen Lombardo, a 57-year-old female who lived in the home with her adult son and husband. Burbank police detectives responded to the scene and took over the investigation. Her adult son was subsequently arrested and booked for murder based on information obtained and evidence at the scene, revealing he caused her death during an altercation in the family home. There is no outstanding suspects or any danger to the community. Kyle Lombardo is a 25-year-old Burbank resident booked for murder and is due to appear in court on Thursday. He is being held in lieu of a $2 million bail and his case will be forwarded to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for filing consideration. The case remains under investigation and anyone who has information is asked to contact Burbank Police Detectives on 818-238-3210. What an awful, hold on, let me fix this. An adult son murdered his mother. Let me try and find it. Karen Lombardo. He had a Let's go to NBC Los Angeles. So there's a photo. The woman found dead in her Burbank home with her son being named as a suspect in her murder was identified Wednesday as a teacher for the Burbank United School District. She was a teacher, a kindergarten teacher. And the superintendent of the district said he also confirmed her death in an email to parents and faculty, saying Lombardo lost her life unexpectedly. Over the course of her highly accomplished career, Miss Lombardo touched the lives of thousands of students, parents, and colleagues who will be mourning the loss in the days to come. Her dedication, warmth, and passion for teaching touched many students and colleagues' lives. Her profound impact and loss on this community will be deeply felt throughout the city of Burbank. The district said Lombardo taught in Burbank for over 3 decades, holding various teaching roles, including being a bilingual teacher. That's pretty cool. Burbank police said officers and paramedics discovered Lombardo in the home in the 800 block of North Avon Street about 10 p.m. on Tuesday after receiving a call about an unconscious female. Apparently, life-saving measures did not work and she died at the scene. No information on how she died, though, or a weapon or anything. Mr. Muffin is making it very uncomfortable to sit here. Muffin, you make Daddy's butt hurt. He's making me sit right on the edge of it. You're a bad boy. No, he's not a bad boy. He just likes sitting next to Dad. Ahoy. How are we today? Doing all right for 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Very sad. Look at that. What a lovely photo. What a very nice looking lady. Let me see if I can find anything else about her son. His name is Kyle, and he's 25 years old, murdered his own mother during an argument. I find that very disturbing. Let me see if there's a video here.
Right now. This is KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Nope. That's live. We don't want that. Let me see if I can find anything else about her. City of Burbank woman, really? In the newsroom for the... Do they normally do this for the city council? That's interesting. Let's go to Fox 11, Los Angeles, maybe? Nope. Apparently they haven't done any videos on this yet. It says a Burbank man is behind bars after he allegedly killed his own mother. It happened Tuesday around 10 p.m. at their home in the 800 block. The victim, Karen Lombardo, died during a fight in the home. Died in a fight. A motive is unknown and it's not clear if the husband was home during the crime. But it doesn't say if a weapon was involved or not. How did he kill her? So apparently a bunch of people in the Facebook are leaving lovely things about, how they knew her and things like that. Apparently that was her and that was the son here. So the thing says here, such a tragedy. They look so happy on this recent photo. They did look quite happy, didn't they? That's a more recent photo of her. Get a haircut and get a job, Kyle. Kathy Lynch says, I have a chihuahua that likes to sleep behind my back. I know, Muffin loves it. He thinks it's the greatest thing ever. All right. There's your story out of California. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Sorry, someone sent me something. I was like, what? Someone's saying an Amber Alert was out today, but it's now gone. Okay. Let's see. Looks like it did go. It's not there anymore. What was the name? West Covina, California. Weston Landrum. Weston Landrum. Yeah, they're saying the Amber Alert got cancelled. So Amber Alert cancelled after 1-year-old California boy found safe. The Amber Alert for 1-year-old Weston Landrum was cancelled after he was found safe on Wednesday. Authorities previously said he was abducted by his 46-year-old father in West Covina, California on Tuesday night. No further details were given. Well, that's a good thing, I hope. Hopefully that means he's safe and he gets to go back to whoever his guardian is, and he's not goes back to whoever loves him. Apparently, Miss Kathy Lynch, are you in here? Apparently, there was a tornado 45 miles south of Nashville, killed 3 people. I'm going to show you a photo. That looks like a pretty. Are these trailer homes? This thing? Look at that. That was Kalamazoo. That's Michigan. That's Michigan. Says the National Weather Service had previously reported a likely tornado on the ground in nearby Columbia, about 45 miles south of Nashville. People in Columbia were injured and homes were damaged, according to Lynn Thompson, Assistant Director of Maury County 911. They said they could not provide any further details. They're getting overloaded right now. Wednesday afternoon, a tornado emergency, the Weather Service highest alert, was issued for an area south of Nashville, including the towns of Spring Hill, Chapel Hill, and Eagleville. There you go. Kathy Lynch, 3 people killed in your area. Powerful storm kills 3 as tornadoes tear through central and southeastern US. I hope you're okay and there's nothing going on where you are. You have family in that area? I hope they're okay. I hope their house is okay. No one's hurt. That type of thing. That would be I don't want to hear that. Also, I do have a little video to show you about Adam Montgomery. They're recommending 56 years to life for him. He'll be sentenced tomorrow in court. I'll show you the little thing here.
Court. An emotional day is expected in a Manchester courtroom on Thursday when Adam Montgomery is sentenced for killing his 5-year-old daughter Harmony back in 2019. The court can see how this crime has impacted the victims and obviously the victim's family. Prosecutors are asking for a sentence of 56 years to life in prison after Montgomery was found guilty in February of second-degree murder and other charges. He's already serving up to 60 years in an unrelated weapons case. If the state gets its request, then he's looking at probably the rest of his life in prison. Montgomery will have to appear in person after skipping most of the trial. I assume the defense will try to emphasize the fact that, well, he admitted to abuse of the corpse. He admitted to the falsifying evidence, and he feels remorse. Prosecutors argue Montgomery, quote, robbed Harmony and her family of the person she was going to become. The years that they suffered not knowing what had happened to Harmony. Legal experts say while it's unlikely, it's not out of the question that Montgomery could reveal if he knows where her body is. The number one thing you could do to demonstrate that you have remorse is by revealing the location of her body.
Now, the defense documents have yet to be filed. And again, that sentencing is 1 p.m. on Thursday. We'll have live coverage here on air and online as well. Live in the studio, Ariel Metropolis, WMUR News 9.
There you go. Angela says, is 56 not a strange number? Be nice if he gave up where Angela is, where Harmony is. I think that would go a long way to decreasing that sentence. He's not going to, though. Yeah, where is Harmony? Give her up. I mean, who cares, buddy? Your life's over. By the time you ever see the light of day, you're either going to be a 90-year-old man or you ain't ever coming out. Just give it up. Let her have a proper burial and, let her go back to her family. Thank you, Kathy. I'll have a look. What is this? Oh, wow. That is a strong tornado. Yeah, I'll show you guys. That was the tornado in Nashville near, well, South Nashville in Spring Hill. That is a stout tornado. It is a nice one. I mean, nice as they can be when they destroy everything. That's a pretty good looking cone shape, classic V-shaped tornado. As much as I love them, they are very scary. It's a video? Oh, all right. Oh, down here. Oh, oh, geez. Look at that. That is not what we saw in that last photo. It is now, looks like a mile wide wedge or 3/4 of a mile wide. Barely see the left side of it. Right side of it's on your screen. Wow, what a monster. It's probably because of the elevation. Low cloud base, and then you move up in elevation. This looks a little hilly. That might be why. Look at that thing coming over that ridge. So as it goes up in elevation, it squishes that cloud layer between the ground and the cloud, and it widens out. So you get a tornado that is wider than it is tall, and you get a wedge tornado. So you get that cloud base. Look how low that wall cloud is. So low. Looks like it's touching the trees. That is very cool. You can see it spinning. So when I move it like this, you can see these clouds going from left to right on the top there. You can see all these clouds moving this way. You get that spin in the atmosphere. Pretty cool. I mean, I find it very cool, but it's very dangerous too. They're saying, yeah, tornado emergency. That would have been very scary if you lived in Spring Hill. The tornado lofted debris over 30,000 feet in the atmosphere. Normally, when that happens, if it can get debris that tall in the atmosphere, it means its updraft is extremely strong, and it means it's got a lot of energy. Could be a high-ranking tornado. Have to look at the damage though. Wait for the weather service to go out there and have a look. Oh, we didn't show it. Good work, Ping. Oh no, I did. That is very cool. What a monster though. Big bowl shape wedge tornado. It's been a horror week for storms across the US. Ruby says, can we add the boyfriend of Elijah Vu's mother to the evil incarnate list? Don't get me started on that guy. I swear to God. I hate that guy. With all of my fiber of being, I hate that guy. Maybe. Chidi No More says, you know what, Ping, it may be so horrific how he disposed of Harmony that he'll never give anything up about it. Maybe. Ping, would you be a storm chaser? I have storm chased several times, a bunch. I've been to the US, I've been down here. Do it in the summer when we get good thunderstorms. That's why I know what I'm talking about when I talk about the thunderstorms. Yeah, I don't think he's looking out for number one, Adam Montgomery. He's looking out for his own butt, and that's it. All right, let's get you another story before we get out of here. Let's talk about Micah Miller again. Apparently, I have a little bit more information.
We are digging deeper into the death of Micah Miller. Officials say the 30-year-old Myrtle Beach woman died by suicide last month. But throughout the case, many of her friends and family have spotlighted Micah's separation from her husband, Myrtle Beach pastor John Paul Miller. ABC 15's Andrew James joins us now after we received new police reports shedding more light on the couple's troubled marriage. Andrew.
Yeah, Connor, well, we received reports through the Freedom of Information Act. Myrtle Beach Police, they released the reports relating to Micah Miller. And one filed in February, Micah reported her vehicle stolen from the Market Common Walmart. Micah told police that she had been estranged from her husband since January 2023 in that report. She said she was committed to a hospital against her will on February 8th. When she was discharged, she went to collect her sedan that she'd left at Walmart. But it was gone. She blamed John Paul Miller in that police report, saying she's known him since she was 10 and that he, quote, groomed her while she worked at Solid Rock Church. Eventually, they got married. Now, in that report, John Paul also told police that he did move the car, saying it was marital property. He adds that he feared Micah would go on a spending spree due to her mental illness, and he didn't want her to sell the car away. Police determined the car was, in fact, marital property, and no charges were filed. Earlier this week, though, we received reports from Horry County Police showing Micah feared for her life after her tires were slashed and a tracking device was found in her car. That happened around March. Connor?
All right, Andrew, thank you. And we've reached out to John Paul Miller for comments.
You know, I had a lot of people email me about this saying, "Ping, you don't understand. This is definitely more than you think it is, and you're so blasé about it. We need action from people that do true crime." I get it, and I hope that if there is more here, that they find it and they proceed. All I said the other night was that oftentimes when they do these autopsies and they do the first bit, it can often just be a first point, and then things can change. So maybe there's more there. I don't know. So Kathy sent me a photo of her radar image. You guys are almost out of it by the looks of it. That storm's going to pass you in about 5 minutes. You guys look like you'll be all right. Says the officer contacted John Paul, who said he and his wife were not legally separated and that she suffers from mental health disorders. The report details John Paul also reportedly told the officers that she experiences episodes on an annual basis near Christmas when she becomes reckless and spends large amounts of money. Isn't that what most people do at Christmas? Don't they often overspend and spend money at Christmas? That sounds like normal type behavior in the holidays. That's very odd. Oh my God, my wife, she goes out, it's always December, and she buys all these things and then she just gives them away. It's so weird. It happens every year in the same time, often happens around Easter as well, and then often around my birthday. You know, these are strange coincidences. I've never heard of such a thing. It's a very odd thing to complain about. John Paul said he had the car in question and that it was marital property. He told police he was unwilling to return the car for a month, which he claimed was usually the time frame of these reckless episodes. Police concluded that since both parties were legally married, the vehicle was marital property and no criminal offense could be established. The second report is from an embezzlement incident at Solid Rock Church on March 13th. An unidentified complainant said that one of the employees of the church, who is the offender, and the police said is Micah, was sent to collect donations for the church's 501c3 called Dare to Care Mission, according to the investigative report. Police report that funds were being collected specifically for a mission happening in Jabrok, Kenya. The complainant said on February 14th, the employee transferred donation funds from the church's Zelle and Cash App accounts to the employee's personal South State bank account. The report stated the employee also reportedly collected cash donations, which were allegedly deposited directly into the employee's bank account. In total, the complainant told police that $1,199 was deposited into the employee by the employee into her personal account. The report ends with an investigation will follow, but it's not clear if the investigation was complete. The Horry County Police Department also released reports earlier this week that described harassment incidents Micah experienced prior to her death, even stating that she was afraid for her life. On Tuesday, they released a 911 call, which we did play, and released security footage and a timeline that detailed the day that she passed away. And they had this great memorial for her. It was really good. It was really pretty. People brought flowers, said nice things about her, that type of thing. It was really beautiful. I will show you. I actually haven't seen this. This is her doorbell cam when she left her property. Sky 15. Oh, they're going to show you the Lumber River State Park. This is where they found her body and where a fisherman said they heard a gunshot and then they found a backpack. Let's have a look at this area. Lumber River. There's the car park. Where's the river? Let's have a look. Oh, over here. Okay, so it's on the back of it. I like it. Sky 15. It's not a helicopter, it's a drone. There's the river, and they found her body in the river. Very interesting. With all the trees around, you could understand why the fishermen only heard the noise but didn't see her. With all the, there's a lot of trees and growth and things like that. Pretty place. Sad though. All right, Reby. See you later. That's true. Hold on. Okay. My bank's like, hey, apply for a personal loan and get a $500 bonus. I don't want a personal loan. I'm good. Let's see. Stamp Crackle Pop says the thunder rolls and lightning strikes, another sleepless night as storms on. I hope you'll be all right. Bye, Reby. See you later. Yeah, it could be something like that. I think that's where people would like it to go. Like some sort of harassment that led to her taking her own life. I don't know if it will go there. The police seem pretty steadfast on their belief that it was self done and that it was from her own mind. But she seems to have been in a very bad situation with a guy who seemed to be non-caring towards her at all. I mean, that announcement he made at the sermon says all you ever need to know. I've never seen someone seem so blasé about the death of a partner and then tell the crowd that, hey, you all knew she was crazy, right? She was crazy. You know she needed medication and stuff. Like, who says that in front of people that are not like confidants or best friends or whatever? Even then it would be awkward. To say that in front of 100 people that you don't really know, awful. And it's very disrespectful in death. All right. I think we're going to wrap up. It was a short show tonight, short day, but hey, we will be back tomorrow and we're going to have a normal 9 o'clock show. Then we'll be back for the late show. But hold on. Let me see if there's anything else about Mr. Brian Lush. Hold on. Because we had to delete the yesterday's late show because of all the problems. So a lot of people probably didn't see this.
Morning. The Ontario Police confirm his remains were discovered in the truck's trailer, despite his rig being a key piece of evidence in the search and the last place he was seen. It was nearly 2 weeks ago when Lush of Coldbrook near Stephenville was reported missing in the Summerston area in Ontario. The 51-year-old father of 3 was a trucker for a moving company, expected home Friday, April 26th. He was last seen near his tractor trailer near Summerston on the 24th. His keys, cell phone, ball hat, all still inside. The OPP said they had as many resources as possible searching for Lush, including search and rescue, helicopters, drones, and dog teams. Surveillance video from the gas station where he was parked shows him getting out of his truck and walking around the front of the truck. He was not seen again. Late Monday, the Ontario Provincial Police confirmed Lush's body was found. The police news release did not say where, leaving open the idea that it was somewhere in Ontario around that truck stop. This photo is from Monday morning. It shows Lush's rig in the parking lot of the Port aux Basques RCMP. Now OPP confirm his body was found in this province. While foul play is not suspected, this development raises questions about the early search for Lush. Was his truck searched? And if so, how was his body missed? The Ontario Police say they are conducting a review. Colleen Connors, CBC News.
I will also add that apparently his family has been sharing this article, the CBC one, with this added comments is one of the people from the family. 12 days of effing hoping we were there. We didn't have time to search the trailer, and the OPP said they were the best. The best didn't do their effing job. We wish this nightmare didn't lead to this. You were so loved, Brian. Read a post from Lush's daughter-in-law, Carly Ann, when she shared the CBC article. Lush's daughter, Chloe White, also shared the article in a social media post saying it was ridiculous. They have every right to be angry. They have every right to question the Ontario police, and they have every right to ask for a review and answers and a sit down meeting with the highest tier, the highest echelon of that police department, and ask for an explanation, please explain. Nothing that I consider worth reporting on. Nothing worth any grain of salt. No, sorry, nothing really. Nothing that I would consider worthwhile. I know they are trying to verify this photo of him. I don't know, guys. You guys want to watch it for a couple of minutes here?
News Nation has not authenticated it, so there's a possibility this is a case of accidental misidentification or of a deliberate and sick hoax. His father, Seth Rogers, says there is video of the sighting as well. We're hearing authorities are looking into it, but whatever it is, the image adds a new twist to an already bizarre case. And joining me now is Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father, and Tony Mathis, a family friend who was helping Seth and his family out. Thank you both for being here.
That's all I'm going to play of it. We'll see. If they ever verify it fully or whatever, we'll talk about it more. Until then, it's literally just a photo of a young kid. Yeah, his dad reckons it is him. Police reckon no, it's not. Maybe false hope for the family. I don't know. I'll show you it to you more in depth here. There you go. There's a bigger version of it. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments, I guess, but I try not to step into this case unless I have real information to share. It's hard. How many kids do you think look like the same around 15? There's probably quite a few that look similar. Is it him? Maybe. Is it not him? Possibly. Wait for the police. Wait for them to act, and then we'll find out more. Hey, I love you all. I couldn't ask for a better viewing audience. We really are trying to get to that 1,000. So if you see that little flashing thing here, please subscribe. It should light up and go like that. Please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And Sean, thank you very much for your donation today. That will go to the we're going to Supreme Court Fund for Aaron Patterson. I may actually need some help from some other people other than Sean. If anyone would like to, I would appreciate it. You can find the links under the chat. We are going to go to the Supreme Court to follow the Aaron Patterson trial, and it should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to go and see it in person and bring you all the latest from it every day. It's going to be a hell of a mission. I think we're going to be out there for about 4 weeks. So it's going to be like a really long trial. Other than that, I love you all. I couldn't ask for better viewers. I really couldn't. So many great people come here each night. I'm sorry there was no early show tonight. There will be tomorrow. And that's it for now. That's it. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for being here so late. Good night.